HarperCollins presents The Dive, the untold story of the world's deepest submarine rescue, by Steve Mcginty. Read by John Telfer. In memory of Roger Chapman. To L.A. from the depths of my heart. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Psalm 130, Song of Ascents. Prologue. In the cabin, the gentle rock and roll of the ship is as good as a lullaby to Roger Chapman. A lifetime at sea has taught him to sleep whenever possible and grab what you can. He might only have turned in a couple of hours earlier, but this is all the rest he needs. And when the alarm goes off at 1 a.m., he rises, washes himself in the basin, and dresses in a pair of blue jeans and a grey shirt, then pulls on a pair of old blue overalls. He thinks for a second about picking up a heavier jumper, but he's only going to be gone a few hours, so he doesn't see the point. Before going out of the cabin, he leaves the pilot's log open, ready for his return. A couple of minutes later, he steps out of the cabin, swings by the canteen, where the chef has already prepared their packed lunches, and heads up on deck. He likes the quiet of the early hours. Although the Vickers Voyager, the company's 2,850-ton command vessel, red with a white trim and capable of carrying and servicing 2 submersibles, is operating around the clock, at night there are fewer people, and a sense of stealthy calm settles over the ship. On deck, he feels the mild chill of the evening breeze, then looks down at the dark waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The nearest land is over 150 miles distant. The immense blackness under the horizon is illuminated only slightly by the moon, trapped behind a curtain of grey clouds. It's time to go to work. He walks to the internal hold, where the white shape of Pisces 3, their mini-submersible, is sitting, and where his colleague Roger Mallinson has clearly spent the last few hours. A skilled engineer who in his free time likes nothing more than building miniature steam engines, Mallinson has been frustrated at the poor performance of the submarine's manipulator arm, the 5-foot-long extendable metal talon, so he has decided to strip it down and rebuild it. Mallinson, a tall, thin man with a bushy brown beard and piercing blue eyes, is not having a good day or evening. He's feeling rough. He has not slept for 24 hours and has barely eaten. The memory of a cold meat and potato pie he'd been served from a peeling Formica counter at a down-at-heel pub near the airport, his last real meal, refuses to fade. He might be coming down with food poisoning, and has been complaining about having a touch of the runs, which he hopes is passing. When the manipulator arm is acting up, the issue is either mechanical or hydraulic, but on this occasion it's both. Then there's the matter of the oxygen supply. The sub has around half a bottle, more than sufficient to do a 10 to 12-hour job, but Mallinson stops to think for a second and decides to replace it with a full tank. He gets up, climbs out of the sub with the oxygen tank, and heads off to the oxygen store 3 decks down. Luckily it's open, and although he knows he should get permission from Ralph Henderson, the field officer, he doesn't want to approach him, not after the way Henderson spoke to him earlier in the week. Mallinson had some concerns about the aft sphere hatch and asked for repairs prior to his last break. When he got back on board, he asked Henderson if they'd been carried out, and his boss was less than polite in his reply. They hadn't, Mallinson was told, and if he had a problem with that, he didn't need to dive. Mallinson pulls out a full tank, replacing it with the half-full tank from the sub, even though he shouldn't, hoists it over his shoulder, and clambers back up the stairs. Chapman finds Mallinson where he'd left him, behind the controls, and grappling with the final repairs to the manipulator arm. Mallinson insists he has snatched a few minutes' sleep, but Chapman
Sample complete. Ready to continue?